What's up, Addicts? I'm Josh.
I'm Michael.
And today we're talking about Arifureta Volume 6. I've been containing my joy for this series because Michael's made me wait like 2 months to record this video. But it's okay because for you guys, this comes out right after the last one. So I'm going to try to keep it really brief because I have a really bad habit of over-talking about this series in our videos. So basically, this takes place a little while. It doesn't really specify how long, but it's maybe like a couple days after the events of the last one, and we get to see that Hajime and his group is on their way to the next labyrinth, which is the one in the mountain close by where the hero party is at the moment. And on their way there, they run into Liliana, who is traveling in a guild caravan, and they basically learn from her that there's some stuff going around the capital that's really weird, and so they decide to go with her back there since the labyrinth is really close to the capital. And basically throughout the whole book, you get to see, Hajime go up against apostles of God. You get to see
Zombies.
you get to see Shia and Aiko go up against some church members. You get to see Shia and you go up against some demons. And you get to see the hero party go after some people as well. So it's pretty interesting. It's pretty action-packed. And I guess, Michael, do you want to talk about any of the characters?
But what about the characters, just in general?
Yeah, because we get a little bit of a look at, I guess, some more of the classmates, and maybe not so much more of just like a
Why they matter?
Yeah, why they matter.
So this book is titled Lies, Deception, and Betrayal.
Yes, it's in the top 10 anime betrayals.
Top 10 anime betrayals, yeah. So you get, basically get to figure out who is plotting against the class from like the very beginning. In this book, you get the death of a major character, actually, in Arifureta. It was emotional.
Yeah, which there's actually two, I guess, technically.
I don't know if we should give more hints than that. There's some sadness.
Maybe it's just one person that dies multiple times. Necromancy.
Yeah, man, it's legal in Cyrodiil, but anyway, every time.
Star fans.
Anyway, so you get the capital. You get Aiko playing a major role in this one. You have more of the classmates in more of a dire situation than even they were in the previous 2 volumes. And then you get probably the greatest threat to Hajime from the beginning. So you look at someone he has to actually fight at full strength.
Yeah, which I guess we won't mention their name here just because it's a good intro. But you have seen them before. And like we said in the last review, this has been kind of building, or that volume was building up. There wasn't much there was stuff that happened, but this is, getting the full payoff of that.
Yeah, I would say so far this is probably the most, besides Volume 1, this is probably the most action-packed and best.
Yeah, because
action-written.
I will say Volume 6 is like, it's not like the end, it's not like the end of like the series by any means, but it's like one of those where it's the next, I guess, big turning point in the series, because you get, the beginning, it's them starting out and him forming this connection with people, and in Volume 6, you finally get to see like the payoff of all of the people he's collected so far, and just seeing them fight. I guess technically at full strength. I mean, not really. Well, yeah, I guess that's a fair assessment, because they go up against a lot of people in this one, and I think this, like in Volume 2, I think it is. There's a statement that Hajime says about going up against the world, and you get to see like the very first taste of him, making action on those claims.
Yeah. In addition, this show has also made me be scared of being tired. Because I may be turning into something I don't want to be. Yeah,
the mysterious ailment.
Mysterious
is not what you want at all.
Nope.
That fits perfectly in here if you have read the volume. I guess
Or speak Japanese.
Yeah. It's terrible. I don't know. The way I said it is probably like, go eat shit. Sort of like...
Omagaiwa Shinjuru? I don't know.
I don't know.
Watch the North Star gameplay.
Yeah, watch the North Star gameplay. You'll get it. I feel like I'm worthwhile for 40 hours in that game. But anyway, I kind of want to talk about some moments, but we don't want to go into too much spoiler stuff, which is really hard because there's a lot that happens. But I guess...
How do you feel about how do you feel about the team working together to help one character at the end?
I really liked it. There's just a lot of things where, looking like before probably Volume 4, I wouldn't see this happening. But after, Volume 4 I think is another major turning point because you get so connected to characters that you may have not, cared about at all. And in this one, like after seeing, I guess more connection with them in like Volume 5, with everybody, I think it just works off so well. And it makes sense for the characters to be like, we need to help this person or these people. And I really liked it. I love reactions of the situation that unfolds because it's almost like a one-punch scenario where you're sitting there and people are facing a dire situation, and you're sitting there and you're on the edge of your seat, like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? Because One Punch hasn't gotten there yet, and then Saitama just shows up, and shit's about to get real.
Exactly.
And so it has a moment like that in there where you're just like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see these people get it. And there's just so many layers to the story. That's the one thing I really like about this volume. There's basically every faction we've seen is going up against I don't want to say like their arch nemesis, but they're going up somebody that is seemingly like in their A game in this volume. And specifically, there's just so many good fights. I love the siege on some areas and just the trails of deception and anything Hajime and you do is pretty great. They're particularly Hajime, you, and Shia each have like their own little duel. Like a one-on-one type thing with different people, and I love all of them. Yes, she's like, it's so great because it's like so comedic. She's just like, who was that person again? Oh well, they don't matter to me. I don't keep track. It's so great. And you kind of has a similar thing where she can the person doesn't know like her full range of abilities. It doesn't know how she's able to do certain stuff, and she's just like, yep, gotcha,
got him.
And then Hajime's just got this his opponent, like most opponents he's faced, they don't ever know what he's capable of because they've never seen a person like him. They've never seen a person with these types of weapons, so they don't know what to expect at all. And so it's always interesting to see how those people react to those. But not only that, but like seeing like the power size up. But there's definitely some good comedic moments as well.
Yeah,
that I really like. Now, the one thing I want to ask you, because I've been talking a lot, is how does, because this is pretty action heavy and just plot heavy throughout. I would say probably 75% of the book, but at the very end it kind of calms down a little bit. What did you think of that? Because it's kind of like you had a whole array of emotions and then it just kind of stops you, and then you get this kind of like calm. What did you think of the ending?
The ending in general I liked, especially the kind of the relationship with the characters that build up in that ending. How you kind of have a change of dynamic of the parties and stuff. I think it's interesting how it sets the story up for the next book. We really don't know where we're going or what we're doing for the most part. You just kind of have a general vague idea what's happening. But yeah, so I like that ending. I think it was... It's hard to say that 6 is the best complete book because Volume 1 is just so revolutionary in the storytelling, and you have kind of that concealed small space to where you're operating. So
yeah,
it's kind of a different animal in itself. But I think besides Volume 1, I would say Book 6 is the best book from the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
With just all the actions, how it ends, and how all the characters develop throughout the whole book. So that's kind of what my opinion is.
Yeah, I think, I definitely agree with that, because Volume 1, it's very complete, you know? Like, if you just read that one, it's pretty contained. I mean, it's like one of those where I guess it could be seen as like kind of its own ending, in a way. But in Volume 6, it feels like a part 1 of 2. And I can't wait to see the end, the end part of that. Whereas... if I've heard people, use this kind of like a metaphor in like writing and stuff like that, where, you want to have 3 points, kind of like a pyramid in stories where, you have a critical point in the beginning where it like intrigues you and has you like fall in love with this story. And then you have the middle part, which is like, I don't want to say the highlight or the peak, but just like a part where like, this is definitively like marking the middle of the story and like, potentially the highest it's going to be, and however long that rises.
Conflict, yeah.
And then at the very end, you'll have a finite thing that ends it in a banger. And for me, I
love the technical terminology and then ends it with a banger.
Yeah,
you're totally right.
Yeah, but I feel like to me, it's like at the peak right now. Like all of the other volumes before this has been good, but I don't think it consistently like. For the majority of the book, has had it enough to where I could rank it higher than a 9, except for the first book, because the first book is like amazing. I still think the first book is my favorite, but Volume 6, I think I can say it's my second favorite, just because you get to see the culmination of.
So what's your rating?
For me, this is a hard one. I've been thinking about this, like I said, for literally months, and I have to give it a pure ecstasy, just because it's like Volume 1, and I can't say, I don't know, I don't like it better than Volume 1, but I don't like Volume 1 better than Volume 6 either. I think they're on the same playing field for what they are, because they're different parts of the story, because you're getting to see the build-up of this character, and then like in Volume 6, you're getting to see like everything come together. Not end, but you're just seeing it like a payoff, so it feels really good.
I have to give a rating now, don't I?
You do.
So I don't feel like similar. I feel very similar to Josh in the perspective of where this is in regards to book 1. But I think if I'm gonna give anything in the Arifureta series a pure ecstasy, it's gonna be this book. So I would give this a pure ecstasy, and we'll have to see for Volume 7 and Volume 8 coming out soon. But overall, I'd say it's the best complete book. I think some people are going to like Volume 1 better, and some people are going to like this volume better.
Yeah.
Either way, they're great books, and 9 or 10, it's kind of like pedantic if it's an FFA or a pure ecstasy. But I'll give this a pure ecstasy just because of it being good, all parts of the book being above average or great.
Yeah. So I guess any final remarks? What are you looking forward to in the next volume? Airship, yes, just because we get a hint of that. His like own version of the helicarrier, basically. I don't know. I think for me, I'm just looking forward to the dynamic of the different characters going forward, like the hero party's interaction with Hajame's group and Hajime specifically. I think at this point, seeing characters like Shizuku or even like Indo, I want to say the name is, the assassin guy. Seeing how they play later on is going to be really fun, and I don't know. I'm just looking forward to seeing where we go. I think we do know from the description in Volume 7 that they get to see the Rabbitmen again. We get to see Shia's family, so I'm curious to see what they've been up to and how far they've progressed.
In their search for dominance and ultimate power.
Yes. So, but anyway, guys, we'll try to be back very soon for Volume 7. We're waiting on some people. But hopefully we get to Volume 8 pretty shortly. And I do have plans to cover Arifureta Volume 0, or Arifureta 0 Volume 1. I don't know if I'll do it with him, because it just depends on when he gets there, but I don't mind waiting. So be sure to check that out, and stay tuned for the other stuff coming up. If you want to check out our Danmachi videos, those should be up either right before this or right after this is going up. So, stay tuned for those, because we're getting ready for Volume 12 of that which we're so anxious to get back into that series as well. But anyway, guys, that'll conclude this review. We'll see you guys next time. Later, Addicts.
Peace.